To address some of the issues I hear about a lot on the web and around me, i.e. the issues of women feeling down about themselves and women taking on to a lot of desperate measures to please men, or I don't know, women, but I refer to the relationships between men and women. Typically, I know it's a cliche, but men tend to have, traditionally, they're supposed to have more self-confidence, and their role in society really is to have that confidence and to bring it to the table, to bring it to the household, to make money, to have this power. This social power is not always 100% there. It's not really realistic so much anymore, but what does remain is this insecurity from women. And so we had this revolution in women's rights and women's activism and women's lib. And even though we have votes, we have delightful, powerful icons, it's difficult for most women to understand that they don't need to be degraded. They don't need to bring themselves down to be able to please men. They don't need to be over-sexualized in order to be validated. It's wonderful to have role models, few and far between. So I hear some horror stories about women going around and accepting just about anything to be able to be in a relationship with a man. I am guilty of having done that in the past, and I know that, for instance, if you're in love with somebody and if you want to be in love with yourself, sometimes it's to make that person your universe, which is fine up to a point, but please remember that this person is not a perfect being. That person has issues that might have nothing to do with you, and tendency is to want to repair, to fix the person. Tendency is to fix that other person in the relationship. Tendency is to carry that person, and have done that too. And why? It's a question sometimes of wanting to assess oneself. If you think anything is smothering you and is wrong in a relationship or another, it's probably because it is. It's probably because it doesn't suit you, and the thing you have to do is to really wonder why it's important for you to be in that relationship, or why it's important for you to love this status you are in. Weigh the pros and cons and find a way to escape from that relationship sooner than later. If the person you're with is not applying any pressure on themselves to be able to evolve or change, then it's probably not the right person. I'm not going to go into detail. There's so many scenarios about this. But as women, it's good sometimes to sit back and be ourselves and decide to focus on what do we want for ourselves. It is extremely important. I can't highlight it enough. It's so important for one's strength. And working on one's body, it's important, not just for physical appearance, but also for fitness, and to find oneself via body language, via dance, via fitness, via working on one's muscle tone. It sounds superficial, but it isn't. It gives you a strength that gets projected onto your psyche. And the better posture, for instance, will develop your assertiveness. It will develop the way you project yourself. Therefore, change the way people perceive you. Therefore, that feedback would be better. Therefore, you'd be better by yourself because people react better to you. That posture will give you some kind of authority, give you some kind of assertion and definition in life. And if you think about it, it makes perfect sense. And the same as muscle tone everywhere. And I'm not saying become a bodybuilder. Be more alert and in better shape. You get more energy physically and also emotionally. You know, all these endorphins are released if you're walking, if you're exercising a bit. It makes you more positive about your body image and also about life. You have time, if you go walking, you have time to think, you have time to expand, you have time to decide and to be alone, you have time with yourself. And this is often scary for many people. Being with yourself can be very, very necessary, actually. The time when you have to face yourself and face what you really want, your truth, and therefore, whatever relationship you're in or not, you can bring that to the relationship. If you're not strong on your own, it's difficult to survive somebody, for instance, who is abusive, or somebody who doesn't really respect you, or somebody who's not going to completely do the way you maybe wish he or she would. And I say that for women, it applies to men, but especially for women, because as I said, women can be relying on physical appearance and what men see of them to validate themselves, to give themselves some worth. Yeah, you do. And that's the physical side, touching into the emotional. I think that being intellectually alert every day, reading a bit more, or having a goal and doing something, challenging yourself intellectually, is very good for your self-esteem. And it's very good to think about something positive as well. If you're going for something difficult, or if you don't know who you are, if you're not so confident about your body, you stimulate your mind intellectually. There's so many things to explore, and you can find something that really flatters you and fits you, suits your personality and what you need. Or reading about history and a certain country's culture, or universe, metaphysics. That's something you can identify to, something you can project yourself onto, and it's magnificent. Both for you and your potential. You can educate yourself. Also for yourself as a person. Spirituality is something that brings people up. And I've lived so far to experience that resourcing yourself and reading into yourself and praying and looking into yourself and renewing yourself every day and battling the odds through belief and faith and working on your spirit, on your mind. Everybody has their path in life, and everybody needs to seek for what their truth is. It's a magnificent journey to go on there and develop this strength within yourself and for other people. And other people can take part in that journey too. You can read some of yourself in other people also. And that's the beauty of it.